welcome to the Faceless Cook. Today we're going to teach you how to spatchcock a chicken and then prepare it in a paprika marinade with potatoes. So, to spatchcock a chicken is to take out the backbone. It allows for a further permeation of any marinades, plus it speeds up the cooking time tremendously. To do so, it's incredibly simple actually. All you'll need is either a good serrated knife or bread knife, or a pair of kitchen shears. You can actually use gardening shears for this. So, first thing to do, flip over your chicken, find out where the backbone is. The backbone is here, and then grab your shears and simply cut. Now, you're going to get resistance because you are cutting through bones, but don't worry about that. Just keep cutting until you're all the way through. And this is also a good time to trim out excess fat. Now for the other side, I'm going to show you how to use the knife. It's very simple. You prop up your chicken, be very careful of your hands, and you simply saw your way through. Now you're going to reach a joint with this one that you won't be able to just saw through. So you break it like that and then continue sawing until the end. And there's your spine taken out of your chicken. You can use this for stocks or throw it away, freeze it for Christmas time. It will make a good contribution to gravy. Now we just remove the string. Trim off the excess fat. You just pull it off really. And then you break the little bone there. So ensure that you will have a flat chicken. As you can see, the marinade will be able to permeate that much more easily, and because of the expanded surface ratio, or surface area rather, it will cook quicker. Alright, let's make our marinade. To make the marinade, all you need is some paprika, I'm using smoked, a little bit of salt, garlic, this is 4 cloves minced, pepper, 1 lemon's worth of juice, and a tiny little bit of olive oil. So, put roughly 2 tablespoons, not tablespoons, teaspoons, paprika in there. Then, you add a little bit of salt. It's not the most exact recipe in the world. Add in the garlic. A few good grinds of pepper, the lemon juice, freshly squeezed would be better, but you can do this with with the bottled stuff, and then the tiniest trickle of oil, and then using whatever you want, you can mix it up. I like to use a chopstick because for me it just works better, but you can use a spoon or anything really. Just mix it all up. I might add a touch more paprika to this. Let's give it a taste. Just give it a taste. And this is another thing handy about the chopstick. You can use the other end, dip that in. I think a little sprinkle more of paprika would be very nice in this. And then just mix until everything is incorporated. I've placed the chicken in this roasting dish, which we'll use later for roasting this and the potatoes. And all you do is you take your marinade, and my hands are clean, they're very clean. Make sure to wash your hands after you handle chicken, always, preferably with bleach, and you rub it into the underside. Now, depending on how strong you want the paprika, you can add more or less. I like quite a lot of paprika taste, but I'm also cooking for people who aren't the most fond of it, so I've backed off a little bit. But add as much as you need. Be careful not to add too much of it smoked, and if you like it, use sweet. I've personally found it doesn't work for this recipe, but everyone has different tastes. So you simply rub this into the chicken as much as you can. And then you just prop it up like that, or however you want really. And let it marinate for at least an hour. It'd be great if you can do this overnight. 3 hours is also what I'll be doing today, but just let that marinate for as long as you have. And wash those chickeny hands. You do not want to get chicken anywhere else. Any surface which has had the raw chicken touching it, you wash with bleachy hot water. Okay? Okay, so if you get food poisoning, it's not my fault. Cool. Right, let this marinate, and we'll see you when it's done. This chicken's been in the fridge for 3 hours, and all I've done is, if you'll see, I have washed some new potatoes, cut some of them that are a bit big in half, and put them underneath. The fat from the chicken will go into the potatoes, make them nice and crispy, and give them the flavour. This means that you only have one dish that you have to wash up at the end, and it's really practical. So this goes into an oven, preheated at 210 degrees centigrade, for about an hour and 10 minutes. It does depend on the size of your chicken and how well circulated your oven is and all the different variables. But yeah, just chuck it in the oven and wait till it's done. And here's the chicken and potatoes after it's done cooking. Now, as you can see, the sauce residue does look burnt. That's the lemon juice. That is what it does under heat. So what we want to do now is take the chicken off and let that rest for at least 5 minutes, preferably a little bit more. So just put that on top of it. And then, very easy, but carefully because it's still very hot, you give these all a mix around, especially the ones that were underneath the chicken. So you coat them in more flavour and the fats that's come out. And then, whilst the chicken is resting, you put this back into the oven so that it has a chance to get a little bit more crispy. And here's the finished dish. Now, as you can see, I've served it with some leafy greens simply because I think it suits it and it needs some green with it. But yeah, the potatoes are lovely and crispy, the skin is lovely and crispy, and the chicken is perfectly cooked. So let's have a taste. Just comes right off. And the potato. Quite proud of that. Now, you can add more paprika if you so wish. This is a light paprika version. If you want more paprika, add up to 1.5 tablespoons. If you just like a little taste of it, stick with this. Well, I hope you enjoy this recipe, and see you soon on The Faceless Cook.